Hello everyone. I'm not sure from what paper is this question, but it's a very good question on section 5.3 probability from your S1 syllabus. Please stop the movie, read and try the question yourselves. I would first need to represent the problem in a way that would help me solve it. Because I do events in a row one after other, I'm going to choose a probability 3 for that. So the probability that the coin shows a head, so I toss a coin, so I can see head or tail. That's the first event. The probability of a head is 1 over 3. Therefore, the probability of a tail is 2 over 3. Now the problem becomes very interesting. So, if I see a head, then two numbers from the dice are added together. So if I see a head, then the two numbers of the dice are added together. What's going to be my sample space here? Well, when I add dice together, I generally represent them, remember I represent them on a two-way table. It's much easier. So let me bring a two-way table here. Okay, so that's how it looks like. So if I toss a head, then I roll the two dice together. I'm not going to continue the tree diagram because it's very, very big. And that's my sample space. Now, if shows a tail, then the two numbers from the dice are multiplied together. So here I should bring the same table, but instead of adding, we are going to multiply the two numbers. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm using my technology to make my work easier. So in the case I have a tail, then I will have this table, but instead of adding, actually I'm going to multiply. So I need to change some of the numbers. Okay, as you see, I'm on the last line. 6 times 1, 6, 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 6, 36. So this is my second table. This tells me that if I if I toss a head, that's what I'm going to see on the next. That's what I'm doing. So I have these outcomes here. If I toss a tail, I have those outcomes here. And I change this table into one with multiplication. And here I have addition. So I think that's, for now, the best way I could find to represent my outcomes. Now let's look at what the question asks. So the question asks, find the probability that the coin shows a head given that Jody's score is 8. So this given that suggests conditional probability. See how important the notation is, because now if I have the correct notation, I look in my formula booklet and I know that's probability of tossing a head and the score is 8 over probability of score being 8. Now, what's probability of tossing a head and the score being 8? Right, so the score is 8. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outcomes. So toss a head and I score 8 in 5 out of 36 outcomes. Therefore, H and scoring of 8 is 1 over 3 times 5 over 36. Okay, now, what do I do with the second one? Probability of a score being 8. So score is 8. Now I need to look on all branches. So I still have 8 here and here. Right? Therefore, I'll have over, when do I score 8? Here or here. So 1 over 3 times 5 over 36, showing me the 5 outcomes on the first branch after a head, or 2 over 3 times 2 over 36. And now I will use my calculator or I'll do my algebra. So I'm going to have 5 over 108 over 9 over 108 is going to be 5 over 9. And that's my answer. That was, in fact, a very interesting question. Probably the most challenging of this question was to represent in a way that will help me make sense, and then to detect that given that means a conditional probability.